Hey there, you guys. We're here for another episode of This Monster Wants to Eat Me, episode 3. I'm, like I said last video, coming basically immediately from episode 2. So there is not much I want to say because I kind of want to jump in based off our cliffhanger of Shiori kind of dragging Hinako into this festival, even though when Miko asked, she turned her down and decided to just go home. We're gonna kind of get to see the effects of this festival and probably get to hear more about her thoughts now that she's going to be in the center of this big summer event, and maybe what the memories bring. But let's get started with this episode in the count of 3, 2, 1. Back to her trying to explain this. Don't you think humans are the same way? Going into the opening here. Yeah. We're definitely going to get more into this. Just given the brief flash that we got from simply seeing people walk over to the festival grounds, being in the center of it, I imagine is going to be a big effect here. There, I hear the anchoring moment. The Sea of Hope. Oh, goldfish gone. She kind of explained, but I know you aren't really fond of it a little bit here. Candied apple. Oh my gosh, did you have a bunch of stuff? But no. Rainbow bubble tea. Could be good, but I'm fine. I mean, well, going in to take her, and yet. That is kind of the air, right? Oh. Oh no. Oh, that's the thing, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not that you don't want to, it's just, mm-hmm. It hurts. It, oh, whenever I remember, yeah. Oh, God. It brings everything back. Good and bad. Mm. Gosh. Yeah, all the trouble. Just spoiled like that. Ah, the dramatics. Uh, that is true. She did do that. Because at your core, you're nice and you realize you left her. Ask you a question as well. Yeah. Why do you want to die so badly? Ooh. Just going straight for the question. Lies. Oh, lies. Yeah. what the death wish smell like. Mm-hmm. Surprised, but didn't give much else. You just let that happen. There's never been fear. Yeah. Okay. Oh, the scar. Mm. Our first trip. You had no control over that. You must survive. Yeah, but knowing that fundamentally doesn't make it any easier. Timing. Always the timing. No. Anyone would be happy if someone at least made it, but yeah. That's a fun way and nice way to put a spin on that. But such a human feeling. Mm-hmm. I mean, in a way, that's something that seems like what a yokai would want. Yeah, I mean, it is on you to, find the joy in things. Like, everyone around you can help, but it's not really something they can force. Oh, she'll kill them. Um, yeah. No, she stands strong and firm on that one. Yeah, now that we're, covered in blood. That is Shiori. Oh. That is useful to know, right? Even if it's, worst hell imaginable. Yeah, it's kind of late. Fireworks already happened. Miko. Yep. She's been spotted. Just smiling doesn't cover it, but she is also happy to hear that she can get there faster, I imagine. But I really want to go back to what Shiori was saying there. Mm-hmm. Waiting for her. Okay. Hey, Miko. True enough. Not gonna call her on it. Sure, nothing. Just nothing. Yep. She did, but you could just speak. Come on. The music is so tense, but yeah. Yeah. Remember. Ah! You're really giving yourself away. Even bigger. Capturing pictures of fireworks is... I understand the feeling, but... Oh, no. Yeah, but... Yes, yes, she is more likely to bite you over it. Mm. It's understandable, but the people around you really should learn fucking tact. Like, the fuck. That's so isolating, too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Out of respect there. I don't think she would agree with you on this one, Shiori. Just saying she doesn't, yeah. Miko's not gonna side with you just because. Okay. Oh, ew, centipede. Are you gonna cliffhang us? Don't do that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. One of the main things I want to look at too is kind of Shiori's words to Hinako. Obviously, excluding the fact, like the part of, then she'll, eat her and all that. But like her words that kind of change a little bit of how she's gonna look at these things, right? I'm excited for the Miko stuff, which is why I'm so upset by the cliffhanger. Okay, what's the next episode called? An ephemeral tie. Okay, I think I caught the episode. Yes, I did. Sometimes I don't. Not that it would have done anything, because episode 4 is not out yet, but habit, if I can do it. Okay. Let's actually go to the beginning real quick. So not like we can go to after the opening here. And it is interesting how she did manage to kind of get into the festival spirit at first. Well, by get into it, I mean she was doing relatively okay at first when it came to being surrounded by all of these stalls and people and just the festive atmosphere. And in tune, I think it's also partly thanks to Shiori just doing as she wishes and kind of, being that very in your face attention, right? But then, she took a bite of the apple, the candied apple, and then, kind of reminiscing on like how she is. It's like she doesn't listen to anyone. She's super self-centered. All this. She kind of does what she wants and does not care about what anyone says. But it's here in this moment when she's getting dragged, like, in and, like, getting shown kindness, no matter the ulterior motive, you know, she's being shown this kindness, you know, she's looking at Shiori and being like, she's terrifyingly kind. And it's like this moment here, it brings her back. Yeah, it brings her back to a fond memory of her family. Like, and that's what does it. Mm-hmm. And then she goes instant reject, like, full body, like, repulse. Like, get off of me. And it's like, she still says sorry, right? Here. Like, the look on her face here. We get that reaction from Shiori. She apologizes before she just bolts out. Yeah. And this whole part here. This whole part. I didn't want to remember this. No, that's not right. It's not that I don't want to remember my family. Yes, this part. It's because, you know, her whole thing is wanting to see them again, and she wants to remember them, right? You don't want to just forget about them. But in remembering, you know, some of the fun times, like, to remember the fun times, your mind's inevitably going to bring you back to the fact that they're gone, whether it just be a reminder of they're gone or how she is literally bringing you back to the incident in which you lost them. God, this is getting a little personal. Oh, the words spoken here hurt me a little too much today. Oh, God. Okay. But let's... more on that when we get further in. I've never wanted to forget them. I just want her words on it as she's getting dragged in here real quick. The flash. Whenever I remember, it feels like I can't breathe. Like it's throwing, for her case, it's throwing her into a panic. It's literally bringing her back then to this devastating, traumatic moment. And she quite literally, her body is just shutting down and freaking out. But, you know, it's like I can relate to doing simple things or having specific activities. And, you know, they occur and they just get you thinking, get you remembering things, right? And it just, you react differently every time. It also goes case by case. Like, for me, I know I get, so I cry like a baby. And so it is that type of thing where it's never you want to forget, but when you're caught off guard, your brain tends to make sure to bring everything back. And for people who maybe haven't gotten the help or haven't been, you know, looked after in a good way after the fact, like she is, because, you know, this happened when she was 6, you know, it's probably going to lead to a lot more violent reactions to it. And, you know, to just hear that, you know, after the incident, everyone knows. And instead of like, I understand, like, maybe being a little wary, at least fucking do the part of not letting her hear all of these words you're saying, all of this nonsense, right? Like, you can be wary, but don't let this poor little kid who just lost everything in such a violent way know that you're talking about her like this. Know that, you know, all you guys are looking at her like is this, like, little glass figurine that managed to survive while her whole family burned in a vehicle before drowning in the ocean. You know, like, just do something other than talk, not even behind her back. That's just blatantly in front. It's, yeah, the panic. But okay, let's move on to this. The confrontation here of her asking, it's like, why do you want to die? And it's good to know that in her mind she does know that they wouldn't really want her to feel that way and all of that. So that's part of why she, in her own way, doesn't want to out loud go ahead and say it. But it's just sad that it doesn't change that she still wishes it, right? And in the sense of she knows they don't want her to feel that way. She knows they don't want her to go out like that. They would want her to continue living, right? But she's not opposed to some malicious creature of any sort just coming in and taking her out. It's just something she doesn't mind. Like, even then, the whole time she already literally had her hand around her throat. And just kind of accepted it as it was. And just calling her out on all her moments of just no self-preservation. And then, yeah, you're like the ocean. I thought of that since the moment I met you. And then we get to see a brief little showing of her scar for the first time. Like, we see it we see it in the first episode, but from far away. And then it is in the opening. But this is our first, like, actual closer look at it. Yeah, looks so much like that ocean. Terrifyingly so. And then just thinking about, like, she's watching this happen. And she's like, I couldn't do anything. And that is such a sad thought to have, too. It's... to not be able to do anything. You kind of just have to sit there and watch, kind of feel helpless. But, you know, it's sad, but it genuinely, you couldn't do anything, you know? It's not of a lack of trying. It was just a situation where, unless you're super fucking human and, like, this is a magical realm, you know, it's kind of just fucked. You're not going to be able to stop it. And, you know, again, she's 6 years old. She's 6 years old, and she has to go through this surviving a literal hellscape of a car crash, knowing that her family is in this vehicle she's looking at that's caught, like, lit aflame and just steadily sinking. I know my accident. I like, a lot happened. I was definitely concussed and all of this, but, like, just putting myself in, like, this is the more extreme, but, like, just through mine, like, trying to put in similar things. I know one of the first things I did after getting hit by the second vehicle was look at where my sister was. She was the only one in the car with me, and I know that I was checking in on her the whole time. I quite literally, it was a whole thing, you know. I may or may not have had a head wound, but my focus was on her. So to try to put myself into this spot, like, just looking on and, like, imagining a case where it's like you couldn't do anything, you couldn't, like, no. I feel so much for Hinako in kind of living with this, and just the fact that she felt so powerless. Survivor's guilt is such a a bitch, you know? And it's true, like, when Shiori asks her, like, it says, yeah, so you didn't feel lucky to have survived. It's like, you never do, you know? In a case where, you know, people you care about die, even if you don't, like, even, like, let's say it's a big incident and it's not people you know, but, you know, just knowing that everyone else in the incident died but you still have that thought of, why is it that I survived, but they didn't? And it's, you're never gonna feel lucky. You may grow to accept it, but feeling lucky, I don't think, is a thought that will ever truly get to you until you're in a really good place and you're like, I'm happy I was able to continue forward. I don't even think lucky. Lucky is just not the word I think anyone would ever feel in the moment. Thankful is more like it, eventually, way down the line, you know, but yeah. But yeah, it's like I should have died with them. But then I heard it. Yeah. You must survive. Maybe it was a hallucination. Maybe it wasn't. Who knows? Can't possibly admit to it. But here, I'm talking about this episode a lot, but explaining that she wanted something to come in and take away the life. But then we have... Okay. You should do what your family told you. Live every day to its fullest. Try to view it through a lens other than sadness. If you do so, sooner or later, the passage of time will ease your wounds. Yeah. It's like, change, it's hard. It's not as easy as simply someone coming up to you and being like, hey, change how you view that. But, you know, just having that little bit, too, of being like, try to look at it through a different lens. You know, right now it's very painful and sad. But, you know, even if you change it up only a little, like, it doesn't have to be instantly through a fun cherry lens or anything like that. Just, you know, maybe more of a calm, think of it as a normal day. Just, like, your average day. And, you know, it's just an everyday scene. There's maybe, like, it's calm. There's some peace to it. And even if things get maybe spiked a little bit, it will still be a change. And then maybe one day you can kind of think up all of these other memories and not instantly be dragged to the lowest point. Yeah, here she says, and when you start to think, I don't want to die, I want to live longer, that's when I'll eat you. But, yeah, in order to die, I need to work harder to live. Yep, that is the case here, it seems. You need to actively work your way up out of this terrible, terrible place, just to maybe achieve this terrible, terrible place's wish. That's just how it's gonna be. And, you know, next episode, after hearing about where your feelings of care come for Miko here, we're going to see maybe more of her next time. Obviously, it seems like we're going to pick up immediately with Shiori and Miko, where Hinako comes in after that. We'll find out. But no, I really want the next episode. She's a very kind girl. But yeah, also just because she's her best friend does not mean you guys are best friends. Again, Miko quite literally will bite you. You said it yourself, and I agree with it, so let's just remember that. Keep that in mind. That's how it's gonna work. But yeah, no, it seems like after killing the Iso Onna, the other little low-level yokai have not taken the warning. But yeah, still, I never expected this many to think she could draw in this with this intensity? How did she survive? And then we just have Miko casually coming in like, what the? You know, it's almost like the universe is responding to her inquiries. Or it's just Miko, you know, I love Miko. A little fun fact, because I'm going to be stopping here, is, you know, the opening frame with Miko at the very end, that's my desktop background right now. For reasons. But, no. Next episode's going to be interesting in where this all goes. Maybe more intro of having Miko around a little bit more frequently. Maybe. Because obviously so far the main focus has been Hinako with Shiori kind of coming in. We've had the moments with Miko, but they're like brief, kept to the classroom, other than when she, you know, walked her home. So, only time will tell, and I'm certainly interested. With that being said, I hope you all have a great day or night, whenever you're watching this. If you enjoyed, give it a like, and if you want more of these, subscribe. You can tell I never do these in outros. But yeah, no. I hope you all have a good one. Till next time. Bye-bye.